Hello there, welcome back to France. Last time we started this, well, hell of rebels we have now with Albania thanks to my conquest on the Ottomans. We also started a war with Lithuania, which is actually going rather well, except for the fact that the Bohemians beat my ass a couple of times. They are very, very mean to me. And I finally figured out what area in the New World I need for the three Georgias. It's basically this area right here. So once my colonists are done with what they're doing, we will colonize this area and we'll well, sort out the problem there. But anyways, with that said, we're going to continue with what we were doing, which was solving the rebel issues. So I'll get back to that, and if there's any battles in Lithuania, I'll show you. Other than that, we will, well, slowly but surely, keep on sieging here. And Denmark has finally been integrated here. As you can see, integration is a slow process, but they have been integrated. And well, with that it should give me some new things that I will instantly get rid of because it messes with my, well, current setup, which is a bunch of Danish forces, I would presume. These guys, for instance, no need of them. Let's see, anyone else? I know the Danes had a rather large force, 24,000 men, so there's probably a 24,000 man army here somewhere that I am currently ignoring. Let's see if there's anything here that sticks out like a sore thumb. These two. I have a feeling the Danes lost their army considering they're using just mercenaries. That must be it. They lost their army, most likely, in the war. And as a result of that, they ended up using just mercs. So I guess that solves, well, that issue at least. But for the time being, I do have a problem that involves me, well, just fighting rebels. So I'll continue the rebel war, as you can call it, and we'll see how this goes. Especially the 100,000 stack here is going to be interesting once we start fighting that. French Brazil against Liberty Desire. Not too good. Let my people go. So, a lot of these are starting to gain Liberty Desire, so I guess we're going to get a New World Revolution rather soon. Which means transporting troops over there is more increasingly becoming a, well, important problem. Now, they said that I would gain a Conquistador with 25 tradition. I don't need more Conquistadors. The other one was better. It basically allows my colonies to grow quicker, which is kind of useful right now. But anyways, with that said, what I am going to do here is slowly but surely just deal with Lithuania. Lithuania should more or less be ready to give up, I think. Let's see, do you want to... Will you give me what I want? This is what I want, of course, and the corridor. Okay, that's a little bit too much. You know what, let's just do this in this first war. This should be reasonable. It should secure everything that I want. And to get that, we'll have to fight a little bit more. Or basically just siege the provinces in question to bring down the cost of, well, sieging them, which shouldn't be a problem. And of course, once you siege a couple more castles and things like that, it should make it a lot simpler and a lot more straightforward. So I'm looking forward to when that happens, to put it that way. Let's see here. So use these guys to clean up. Do I have some with good? Just put you in charge. You have a decent fire. 150,000 now. Wow, that is scary. Menacingly scary. They are slowly but surely here becoming my biggest and most dangerous enemy here. If we check the military ledger for armies, they are currently in second place. That is the truth of the situation. The rebels in Albania who fight for, the Wallachian separatists currently field their second largest army in the world. I find that hilarious. But anyways, with that said, I do have a problem to solve, and that is Lithuania. They are nearing... They will actually give me what I want now, so why don't we just make peace? It will allow me to free more troops to help with the I guess, subjugation of Albania, and we can also now start the annexation of Albania, which should help out. I forgot about the fact they were a bloody march. Well, they were a march, but they were doing their job very poorly, so I guess that's something. I made them into march, and then I released them for, well, I messed up. I messed up again. No worries, we'll deal with it. Anyways, we do have things here with high liberty desire. It's actually Albania who has a high liberty desire. That's interesting. It would be hilarious if Albania had actually tried to break free. That would be hilarious. Apparently, my tech is, well, not working well enough to my advantage. But anyways, as I said, we are going to start moving troops over to the New World and Mars right now, because I'm going to need... Okay, can you guys not go to the same place, please? I would be so happy if you guys could go in two different directions. I have no idea if there's a pre-programmed path for these guys when they do the, well, find different land things. Of course, there must be. So I'll have to command one of these on my own. Well, that should be fine though. We can handle that. I'll probably send one up here to just find the, well, the land in the area. But as I said, we'll start moving more troops overseas, and we'll probably just use Florida as our base operations. They seem to be more the one that is most likely to actually break away right now. So they will unwillingly here become my base of operations, so that I can actually, well, solve the problem. But I'll keep on fighting the rebels, and we'll see how things go in the future here. So, hilarious enough, as you can see, I'm trying to keep the rebels under control, but it's more or less impossible. The Valachian separatists have increased now in numbers to 200,000. So, dealing with that army is going to be a pain in the ass, to be perfectly honest. I have to actually, well, coordinate a force to deal with them, and at the same time I have to actually have that force to be strong enough to deal with them. So we're going to set up a force here to try and challenge them, because they will be, well, sitting in peace and quiet for a little while. And as you can see, most of the rebels are currently being dealt with. There shouldn't be too many of them, I say, as they pop up again. But I'm going to be basically putting a lot of force into dealing with that stack of rebels, and this is going to be the hilarious factor. It's going to be just seeing how strong this rebel army is, because in theory now I'm joining up armies that will be more or less as strong as it is. So let's just have all of these joined together. And once again, I'm not going to be able to annex the Principality of Albania in good time. It's going to take forever to do so. And as you can see, my improved relations is almost at its maximum. So dealing with this can go two ways. Either allow, well, the rebels to win, they break off some land, and then recover that at a later date. Or we try and sort out the rebels, but as you can see here, it's not going too well. We're actually losing this battle severely. We will win on morale in the end, but all of the armies that I currently have put to, well, help with the subjugation here, if you will, of this huge army, will need to actually be fixed. The survivor, the expedition started with 600 men, but only 4 made it home alive. When they first arrived, the crew heard about another expedition where 450 of 600 men had perished. Fearing that they would face the same fate, many deserted. A hurricane struck the expedition not long after, and several men perished. Disaster after disaster struck the expedition, famine, disease and attacks from the natives. One of the 4 who returned home was Estevaniko, a black slave born in Africa, who was taught by the conquistador the necessary skills to lead an expedition. He's available for hire, although we would suffer a small prestige hit if we appoint him our new conquistador. I think I'll take the administrative power, thank you very much. But yes, as you can see here, we do definitely have some problems with rebels. We lost 100,000 men here, I think. 89,000 men to rebels, while they lost barely 67. So rebels currently hold a considerable edge over my forces. That is just sadly the truth of the situation. The rebels of Albania currently hold a considerable force over my forces here. And again, since they have so many rebels who pop off so often, I'm tempted to just let the rebels break free, because what's going to happen is that we're going to get smaller countries like Serbia, Wallachia, Bulgaria are just going to pop up again. I can then stabilize Albania. I don't think they'll lose their course though. I'm a little bit concerned here that they might, but I have no idea how this is going to work. So since basically Albania holds no real value to me anyways, I'm going to do a tiny experiment here, just see how many rebels we can get to spawn in Albania and what will be broken free if we allow Albania to, well, get destroyed. It's basically an experiment for my own sake, and also I think this could get a little bit interesting towards the end here now. Because let's just be perfectly honest, if I don't do this, I'm going to run out of manpower. I had almost 600k manpower when this started. I lost a minimal amount of that from the war with Lithuania. What I've lost the most against here is the war with the rebels here. So it's definitely going to be interesting now, just to see how this is going to work out. The only rebels that I will deal with are the Wallachian rebels that come into my country and cause trouble. Other than that, I will allow everyone else here to do whatever they see fit. But of course this is going to get kind of interesting, so for the time being we'll leave things as they are and we'll see how it turns out. Let's get rid of this temple, and since this seems to be a place where they like to attack, we're going to replace that with a star fort. Power to nobles or more to the provinces? I guess we'll have to take nobles in this case. I don't want any, well, free points. This is interesting. Apparently here my heir died and I got 2 new heirs. Louis, who is not too good, 233, and Nicolas Henri, who's a 464. Now let's see who we actually got here. 464. We got a rather decent one. He does have a weak claim though, so that could be problematic, and our current king is rather old. So it's going to be very interesting just how that plays out. We might as well just take public punishments here. Naval morale increased by 0.5 and maintenance by 25%. And I should probably start this long ago, again transferring the troops over. So we'll do that now, and we'll prepare for a revolution in the New World. So a quick head count here will prove that there are basically 100, 200, 300, about 400,000 rebels now in Albania. It's an incredible number. If I was to, as I said, continue fighting these guys, I would most definitely end up suffering quite a bit. So I'm very happy that I decided to back out when I did. It's going to be interesting though to see how many new countries emerge from this situation. So the situation has already reached its end here, and as you can see here, we ended up with Greece being one of the new countries here. We have Wallachia returning, and it seems like, if I take a quick look here, that Albania retained most of its cores, which means that I can slowly but surely now reconquer what Albania lost. So with that said, how about we just start here with a very quick war on Ragusa. We're basically just going to reconquer the cores that, well, we lost right now. I guess we'll make vague promises. Basically, we're going to just reconquer them quickly, and we're going to also add some more provinces to the fold, I think. Not too many, and I'm going to make sure that I actually don't go overboard as last time. And this should be perfectly fine, I think. I might actually... No, I will not take Wallachia for myself. Wallachia is just too expensive to take for myself. But again, these forces are lower morale. As you can see, the Serbian army is... Let's just be perfectly honest. These are all rebels. These are all rebels that we, well, conquered or gave up land for. And what's actually going to happen is that I'm going to give land back to Albania. Albania is going to stabilize somewhat, and everyone is going to live happily ever after, because that is basically how things are going to work here. And hilariously enough, it does seem like they kept most of the rebel army. Bulgaria, on the other hand, was smart enough to realize that that was not a good way of doing things, so we're not going to keep all of our, well, rebel troops, because they can't actually help us. They will just cause trouble and mayhem and whatnot. So they did the smart thing, got rid of them before they become troublesome. And it's going to be interesting here to see just how this is going to work out. For now, I'm going to split up this army into what it used to be before I made the brutal error of joining a 24 with a regular troop. So, but let's face it here, the Serbian troops are Serbia's done for. We're going to annex the entire thing. Then we're going to annex Bulgaria too. Sorry, not Bulgaria, Bosnia. We're going to just reconquer that as well. And I'm just going to let this go. We'll run its course. I think this is also a better way of dealing with this than just having those continuous rebels, because now I can again have a controlled growth of Albania. Of course, the main problem is that Ottoman got some land back, but we had more basically breaking free than Ottoman reclaiming, if you will. So I guess I can't be too annoyed, but I'll go ahead and reclaim Serbia and Bosnia, and then we'll see if we want to reclaim anything else for, well, our battle here. We'll have to see, but I think that should be enough until they can call the land we're currently taking. And there we go. Basically everything is now returned back to Albania, at least the parts that well, these guys had. And with that said, we're probably going to, as I said, go for Greece, but I'm going to wait until Albania has actually caught what I just gave to them, because I don't want to end up in that shade of a situation I created last time. Well, unless I actually plan to in this regard. But the True Sweet Ottomans is ending in 7 years, so we're getting close to finishing, well, this Georgia. We'll have to see on the other one. And the game is nearing its end. We have less than 50 years left, so we will continue next time. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, and do you feel like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.